Hello everyone, this hour on Verbling. Next in my Getting Results in Business series. Today we are working on business communications, and I think in today's class, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be working specifically on business skills. I'll let you know in just a second. In any case, in this unit we've looked at keywords for particularly technology and communication, or how technology affects communication in different kinds of businesses and in different ways. In the business skills section, you're going to practice the language for explaining procedures, as well as, in particular, how to go about a process. The process will have to do with teleconferencing, but we'll talk about other processes too. We're going to finish up the unit with a case study that's a realistic simulation of something you have to do at work. And in the case study, you're going to be problem solving in a group. That won't be in today's class, but that'll be coming up, and in that class we'll put together everything we've learned so far. So that's a little bit about today's class, the business skills section. Here's a bit about me. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means please turn off your microphone when you're not speaking so we can keep the classroom quiet. Tune in to the new words and phrases that you're learning. Use them actively so that I can correct you. And finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And right now, you're going to see our shared notes. I'll get them on screen in just a second. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Remember, the material is always under class material when you sign into class. But I'll put the link directly in the chat window for you, and you'll see it right now. Okay? If you don't see it for some reason, I'll put it in the group chat. You've got it in both places right now. All right? Now, these are our notes, but we're also going to work with actual presentation material. So what I'm doing from all these business classes from now on to make life a little bit simpler is when you go down to today's class, you will see the links to the presentation, and I'll open the presentation as well. So right now, the yellow arrow shows you we're in Unit 11, Business Communications. Just keep scrolling down. You can either click on the link on page 5, or you can just go to page 6, because in fact that's where it is. Okay? And the first thing I'll do is review the last class. Whoops, spelling mistake. Let me fix that. Okay, so at any point, you can always go back and see the summary after class. Keep the link to this document. I'll keep updating it. I will also put in keywords that we've learned. I'll put in corrections and that kind of thing when I can. The keywords will be in a different document. So, in the last class, you had to guess a procedure that you heard me explain. You had to listen to me describe steps of a process, and then afterwards you had to note some of the key phrases that were used, like the sequencers, first, then, after that, last, and then the key phrases, you must, you need to. We went on to doing a quick review of our keywords for the unit, the ones we learned in previous classes, and we did that in the mind map. The mind map is up here. You can open it if you like. The add Google Drive is unreachable. Uh-oh. That's weird. Hold on a second. That shouldn't happen at all. Let's see what the problem is. Am I signed in? Yeah, I'm signed in. That's really strange. Try it again. Anyway, I just wanted to say that you might have to add the app if you want to open the mind map. There you go. So you'll see this screen, but you'll also see Mind Map. That's the app that you might have to add. If you don't see it, you'll click on Connect More Apps and you'll find it there, Mind Map. Okay? And again, you don't have to add it if you don't want to, because I'll always share my screen. But if you want to review on your own, you're going to have to add it. It's free, it doesn't cost anything. As long as you have a Gmail account, you can add it for free. Okay? So, while we're opening that, let me just continue with the review from the last class. Okay, we then went on to work on business skills. Or down here. You had to listen to the gist of a conversation, the main idea, and you also listened to a teleconference and answered comprehension questions. That's about as far as we got. Today, we're going to review the listening you did. We're going to work on key language, and we're going to put it together. We're going to put all of our skills together into a teleconferencing of our own at the very end. Okay, so that's just a quick reminder of what we did last Thursday on the 11th of December. And with that in mind, I'm going to open presentation 2, where we have our business skills. And while I'm waiting for that to open, I'm going to go back to the map. And I'm going to do a super fast review. Super fast. Because by now, you're probably really familiar with all of these terms. So, the first thing we did was we learned verbs and prepositions together in the context of business communications. Okay? So take a look at the map and shout out the right answer. This is a review, so this is something we've done. If you weren't here in the class, it'll be new, but for the rest of you, it's a review. What's the preposition? To be involved.
On.
On?
In.
Correct answer is in. To have an impact.
In.
In? Try again.
On.
On. Correct answer is on. To have access.
To.
To. Is Daniel the only one doing this exercise? What about the rest of you? To subscribe. To subscribe blank a magazine. I have
Subscribe to.
To. Very good.
Yeah, but I can't see the. How can I see?
What do you see on the screen?
I want to see just last word families. Verb, pronouns, noun.
Well,
but I think
on screen you should see the map. If you don't see it, it means you probably have a connection problem. You can also go to the map on your own if you like. Where are you right now?
I'm here.
Well, where in the world? I mean, where on the planet are you? Where are you located?
Look, I'm looking the map right now, but it's far.
The fair. What country are you in?
Oh, well, I'm from Saudi Arabia, but right now I'm from San Diego, United States.
Okay, well your connection should be really good, because probably this map is also in the United States. I think it is. But not the map. I'm sorry. The Google Hangout has servers in the United States, so you should see on your screen exactly what I see. It shouldn't be a problem.
I don't know, but
I don't know either. Anyway, we'll just have to go with it for now, okay?
okay.
Because I can't help your personal connection. There's nothing I can really do about that. But you can also just listen, because I'll call out the words first, and if you can't see them, you can't see them for now, and we'll try to figure out your connection later. The next word is to collaborate
With.
with is correct. Your equipment should integrate blank other equipment. Your equipment should integrate in. Try again.
Integrate to.
With is correct. Your equipment should integrate with other equipment if you want it to work. To interact, you must interact blank other people.
With.
With again. Very good. You have to connect blank the internet.
Connect to.
Connect to is right. I want you to focus blank your work. On is right. Very good. Very good. Okay, so in the map, you can see those answers. I'm going to fold it up now by clicking the F key. Word families. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, good.
Now, this is a review, but you can see the key word is the verb. So I'll do the first one, and I'm going to call on one of you to do the others. Do this as fast as possible, because it's just a kind of a drill. In other words, it's a fast exercise. If you don't know, skip it, okay? Because you'll get it through repetition later. Let me do the first one as an example. Communicate is the verb. Communicator is the personal noun. Communication is the general noun. And communicative is the adjective. So it's always going to be that pattern. Personal noun, general noun, adjective. Communicator, communication, communicative. Daniel, let's take analyze.
Analyst.
Analyst, good. General noun.
Analyst.
To do, yeah.
To do an analysis.
Okay, it's the right idea, but the wrong stress. Analysis.
Analysis.
That's right. And the adjective?
Analytical.
Very good. That's it. So, analyst, analysis, analytical. Okay. I know you weren't in class, but if you want to try it, do volunteer. Try it. So, personal noun. The verb is to volunteer. What is a person who does the action?
Personality.
For volunteer?
Oh, sorry, volunteer. Volunteer. Yeah. Volunteers.
So, the verb is to volunteer. What do we call a person who does the action?
Actually, I don't know.
What's something that you might volunteer to do? Duffer, what's something that we might volunteer to do? Like it's Christmas time in America. What might we volunteer to do during Christmas time?
Like share?
Not exactly share. Well, share what? Maybe. Share what? Share money? Share time? What would we share for volunteering?
Share participate.
Share what? Repeat?
Participate.
Participation.
Yes.
Okay. So we would share our time,
Participation.
share our time to participate in something, like maybe we would volunteer to give food to people who need food. We might volunteer to distribute warm clothing to people who don't have a home. So we would
Yeah.
participate freely. Okay, that is the idea of to volunteer. Very good. What is a person who does this action? Change the form of the word. So to volunteer becomes, what is a person who does the action? A what? Class, help him out. Help him out, class.
Volunteers.
Okay, plural, volunteers. Singular, volunteer.
Yes.
So, does it change from verb to noun?
No.
Yeah, change.
No, it
I think-
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
But
So,
add
to
is.
volunteer and volunteer are exactly the same. It's
but
exactly the
add-
same.
Okay.
All right. What about the general noun? In other words, the act of doing this thing, the general noun. So we had to volunteer, a person is a volunteer. The action is,
Volunteering.
there's a better one. There's an even better one than that. Volunteering is correct, but there's a better one. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone?
No.
Volunteerism. That was the one we learned in the unit, volunteerism.
Volunteerism.
So volunteerism is the most general way to describe the action of volunteering. Volunteering is also okay. You can say that, of course. And the adjective. Let's start with you, Defer. What do you think the adjective of volunteer is? I did it in a blank way. I did it in a
Can you repeat it, please?
the adjective
Yeah.
of to volunteer. Class, help him out. What's the adjective?
Voluntary.
Voluntary is correct.
Voluntary.
I'll put these in the chat window, Defer, so you can see. To
Okay.
volunteer, a volunteer,
Zero.
noun. We have volunteerism is the general noun, and we have voluntary is the adjective. So you can see all four forms in the chat window. Okay? Let's
Okay.
try innovate. And this one is for Paulo, that's right. Paulo, let's try innovate. To innovate,
No.
what's the personal noun?
Innovative.
That's the adjective. Innovative is the
Innovative.
adjective. Okay, what's the general noun?
Innovator.
Well, that's the personal noun. Innovator.
Innovator.
What's the general noun?
General. Innovation.
Very good. So the personal noun again was?
Innovator.
General noun again?
General. Innovate.
No, the one you said before was correct. Innovation.
Innovation, yes, innovation.
And the adjective?
Innovator.
Nope. That's the personal noun.
Ah, adjective. Adjective. Innovative.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. Okay, Quentin, I know you weren't here, so this is going to be difficult, but you're going to try it anyway. Just try. Consult. To consult is a verb. To consult. The first one is the personal noun. What do we call a person who consults?
Consultant.
Very good. Consultant. What do we call the general name, the general noun, for the act of consulting? I'm going to have a
Consultation.
consultation. And the adjective? It's just like the one we did for innovate. Innovate becomes innovative. Consult becomes
Consultative.
consultative.
Consultative, okay.
Consultative. There you go. So consultant, consultation, consultative. Okay, the other ones I think are pretty easy. Economize, develop, connect, transfer. Let's try the last one. Oh, I'll tell you what they are. So it's economy, economize, economist is the person, economics is the field, economic or economical, even better, is the adjective. Develop, developer, development, developmental. We don't have a personal noun for connect, so it goes connect, no personal noun. The general one is connection, and connective is the adjective. Transfer, no personal noun. Transference or a transfer is also a noun. Transferable is the adjective. What about participate? What is the personal noun for participate, class?
Participant.
Very good, participant. What about the general noun? The name for the act. Say again?
Participative.
Is that the noun or the adjective?
The adjective.
Adjective, good.
Yeah.
What's the noun?
Participative.
That's the adjective.
Participation.
Participation is the noun. Right. So, participant, participation, participative. What I've just showed you is something you can do on your own. Go back to the map, add the MindMup, M-U-P, MindMup app if you need to. Save it in your Google Drive, which you can do up here. Click on Drive and Save. You can save it to your personal Google Drive. Open using the F key, like this. Go through the list, close it, and you're done. You can also always check the answers because the answers are in the notes. Go back to class number 4 on page 8, and you've got a master list, so you can always check if you got it right or wrong. I put the answers there for you on page 8. All right, very good. So that's what we've done so far. Now what we're going to do is this. We're going to work on the key phrases, explaining procedures, asking for clarification, checking that a listener understands you, showing that you've understood, and general expressions for teleconferencing or video conferencing. Because that's what we're going to work on in today's presentation, business skills. So here we are. We're explaining procedures and working specifically on how to teleconference or video conference, all in the context of business communication. Last Thursday, we did the listening, so we're going to review the listening. First, for those of you who are new, let's get the background. Quentin, I'd like you to read the context so that we know what's happening in the listening that we're going to do. Could you read the context for us?
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay, so Job Seeker is an international e-company serving both people looking for jobs and companies looking for staff. It has recently introduced services in Romania and Austria. 2 new positions have been created in each country to look after key account customers. Job Seeker
looking after key account customers.
Looking after key account customers. Job Seeker has arranged a teleconference with the 2 countries to inform them about procedures for working with the key accounts.
Good.
The participants are Jimmy from the US, Angelica from Austria, and Mirela from Romania.
Okay. How many people are involved in the teleconference?
3.
Exactly. What's the purpose of the meeting?
To be teleconference about new position.
That's right. It's a new position. And the new position is a managerial position. What does the new manager have to manage? So far, you're right.
To work with a key account.
Exactly. The key account customers or key accounts. All right. And I think, Paulo, you were here last week. What is a key account customer? Is it someone different than a regular customer?
Yes, the key account customer take care about the customers with high profit for the company.
Absolutely. Be careful. The key account manager, not the key account customer, the key account manager has to take care of high profit customers. High profit customers are key account customers. So we've got key account managers taking care of key account customers. Okay? So you're absolutely right, Paulo. You're absolutely right. That's it. Okay. We've already done the listening last week. So what I want you to focus on is not the general questions here. I want you to focus on the actual language. So what I want us to do is to just read through, to refresh your memory, even if you weren't here, it'll be new. Read through this teleconference together. I'll ask you a few questions to make sure it's clear. And then what we're going to do is pick out important language afterwards here. Pick out phrases which mean these things. Put them in the right category for A, B, and C below. Then we're going to go on and actually use the language. You're going to explain a procedure for teleconferencing calls in your company. You can make it up. You can talk about the real procedure, or we can talk about a totally different procedure. In this case, I'm going to give you the steps to make it easy for you to talk about, but then we're going to go on. Whoops. Give me just a second here so I can preview this. We're going to work a little bit more with the key expressions, and you'll see in slide 9 I've actually made a list of the key expressions that we're going to identify in just a moment. I've actually listed them for you. So you can always cheat by going to slide number 9. And in slide 10, you're going to work on a procedure of your own that you have to explain. Okay? So that's the plan for today. Let's start by just reading through the dialogue of the teleconference. Okay? Even if you weren't here, you'll still be able to pick up the key language. So I need a Jimmy, an Angelica, and I need Mirella. Let's see. Maybe I can have the people who are here do the reading, and the new people can do more listening. Okay? But you're going to follow along with the text. So Daniel, can you take Jimmy for us? Okay. Paulo, you're going to be our Angelica. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. Shadow, do you think I can have you read Mirella for us?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And that means that Andrew, and Defer, and Quentin, you're going to be listening for the first time. We might read this a second time if it's confusing, and then I'll have the three of you read, okay? But let's just listen for now. And I'll just stop you if it's a major thing. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it go until the very end. By the way, as you're listening, the three of you, think about these questions. How often do we listen to teleconference and answer these queries Angelica prepared before the call? So one of the participants, Angelica, has prepared a few questions that she needs answered. How often do we contact key account customers? Do we have any offers for key account customers? How do we calculate the price? Can we get information about key accounts in writing from the US? Think about how to answer Angelica's questions. That's on slide 4. Let's go to slide 5. Daniel, take it away for us.
Okay. So this tool and service is offered to large-sized companies only. Are you with me?
Okay, yes, I've got that.
Mirella?
Okay, I'm with you.
Good. When you acquire your key account customer, you must set up regular meetings. It's a good idea to plan this for once a quarter every 3 months.
This is Angelica. What exactly do you mean by meetings? Do you still need to meet them face to face?
Yes. We regularly bring out offers for key accounts. For example, at the moment, we're offering a special price for 3 job postings, 1 month's resume access, and logos.
1 month resume.
Okay.
Resume is the same as CV.
CV. 1 month's resume access and logos on job ads. So there's always something new to discuss.
Jamie, you are very faint. Oh, this is Merla, by the way.
Hang on. Is that better?
1 second. So what did Jimmy just do in this teleconference, Daniel? When he says hang on.
Is the main interlocutor.
No. I mean, what did he do when Mirella said you're very faint? What did Jimmy probably do? When you say hang on, is that better? What are you doing as Jimmy?
Bad communication.
Right.
The line's wrong.
Exactly. The line's bad. So, what do you think Jimmy did?
Hang on and again to make the call.
Okay, perhaps he called back into the conference.
Call back.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he changed his volume. Who knows? But he did something because remember, they're not face to face. They're talking over a conference line, kind of like what we're doing right now. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Mirella.
Yes, it's fine again now.
Can we speed up a little and discuss first meeting with the key accounts? There's another conference call booked for this room in 2 minutes, so we can't run over.
Everyone.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, fine, no problem. Yay!
In your initial meeting, you need to make sure there is the demo for posting ads. What's useful is to send it to them on a CD a few days before the meeting.
So you're saying we don't have to go through the demo in the meeting?
Normally not, no. A few years ago, we always had to train them on the software, but now it's much more user-friendly and people are more familiar with form filling and making payments online.
This is Merla again. What do we do about price?
Okay, what happens is an offer is made according to the approximate numbers of postings the client will make in a month. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's clear. We've already started putting offers together, but I just want to check. And how is all this packaged?
Hello, I can't hear Mirella.
Is that better?
Yes, you're back again now.
Well, to answer Mirella's question, basically it's essential to tell them about our advantage over newspapers ads.
Be careful with the S.
The resume.
Careful with the S. Advantages.
Our advantages.
Good.
Over newspapers ads. The resume and candidate filtering tool. The fact that responses received to ads can either be accessed online or directly sent to their email address. That's to name just a few.
Jimmy, could you slow down a bit? We're having problems following you.
No problem. I'll email you the information. You should read this through thoroughly, and
Thoroughly.
no, thoroughly
Thoroughly,
and
right?
thoroughly and contact me if anything's still unclear.
Okay, there is one last thing I want to ask.
And we'll never know what that is. All right. So, Andrew, Defer, and Quentin, let's see if the three of you can answer these general questions that Angelica was read by Paolo. Angelica has these questions she needed answered. That's the purpose of why she went to the meeting in the first place. Let's see if you can answer them. Andrew, the first question is, how often do we contact or meet the key account customers? Did you pick that up from the dialogue? Andrew?
He can't speak.
He can't speak?
She said.
Oh,
He said.
but he can write. But you can type, Andrew. Maybe he can't type either. Can you type? Yeah, there you go. So, how often do they meet either? Well, actually, how often do they meet face to face? Because they do meet face to face. Do you remember? I don't see anything. Are you typing? No answer. Oh, Andrew, I'm so disappointed. So very disappointed. Let's see if one of your colleagues has it. So, Defar or Quentin, how often do they meet key account customers? What did you hear from the dialogue? Defar, Quentin, any ideas?
Yeah,
Wait, Andrew's got it. Sorry. Now I see. Andrew says once per 3 months. Good. We would say once every 3 months. Okay? But correct. Sorry to cut you off, Quentin. Sorry about that. Okay, so Andrew, you were right. It's once every 3 months. Not once per, but once every 3 months. Okay, Quentin, why don't you take the second one? Do we have any offers for key accounts? Any special offers?
Advantage or over newspaper advertising? No.
Say that in a complete sentence. You're probably right, but what do you mean?
They are going to have advantages over newspaper.
What kind of advantages? What do you mean by advantages? In your own words. I think you're right, but I'm not sure what you mean by advantages. Can you give me an example? What's an advantage?
I don't know. I'm just reading the text right now.
You've got to go behind the words. What kind of advantages? In the text. Go ahead. Yeah.
Resume and candidate featuring to, but
You're right.
yes.
So here's the question. As you were listening, you're right about the resume. You're right about that. As you were listening, you had to sort of imagine what kind of business this is. We know it's jobseeker.com, right? And if you keep in mind the purpose of it, it's a little easier to pick up the details. What is job seekers' core business? What does job seeker do, Quentin?
Job seeker is for it's like monster.com.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everyone can go to the website and post his own CV or
Right.
resume,
Mhm.
and in the other part, company are paying for having an access to this CV tech. I don't know if it's working. CV tech.
To the having access to the CV, I guess.
To having access to the CV
From
data.
Yeah, data. Okay, good. So the advantage about the resume is you're absolutely right, but what's the actual advantage? What can they do with this offer? Can they do something different than normal? Can they have a different what? What's the advantage?
Okay, so if someone is looking for a job, it will be on the first page and the first line.
Mm-hmm.
And also they are going to be able to filtering, have more filter on the searching tool.
Are they really more filtering? I'm not sure about that. Are you sure? What I was looking at was, let me see. We regularly bring out offers. Jimmy says we regularly bring out offers for key accounts. For example, look in the first column. For example, at the moment we're offering, you see that line from Jimmy? So what does Jimmy say they're offering?
Yes, a special price.
Yeah. So in other words, what's another way to say special price?
Another word?
A synonym for special price.
A promotion?
Yeah,
No.
kind of a promotion, right? Kind of a promotion. In this case, it's a promotion for 3 job postings.
Yes.
So a special price on 3 job postings. 1 month of access to everyone's resume.
Yes.
Not just one time, but 1 month. And your personal logo will appear in the ad. Okay? So about the filtering, I don't think they're offering that. They do mention it, but I don't think that's the main idea. But those 3 things are the main ideas, I believe. And you can find it all in the middle of column 1. So basically, special price, more access, and personalized logo. Let's go to Dafer. Angelica wants to know how we calculate the price. So the price that we're charging our key account managers, I guess. Wait, no, sorry. The price we're charging our key account customers. How do we calculate that price based on what you read and heard? Uh-oh. Defer, are you there? Hello, Defer? Hello, hello? Uh-oh. Anyone else?
The price
Yeah.
will will be
Calculated.
calculated according to the approximate number of posting client make every month.
Daniel,
Mm,
what
yeah.
what is a key account customer for Shadow?
What's the meaning of key accounts?
Key account customer.
A key account customer is the main customer for the company
There you go.
because they gave They they gave them
Give
the
them.
most
Give them.
give them the more profit.
Yep. They're the customers who do the most business. VIP. That's right. VIP.
Mhm.
All right. So, Defer, are you still there? Defer? I don't hear you, Defer. I hope you're still there. Okay, I'm going to assume, because I don't hear any questions, that you got the basic idea. Let's go to the key vocabulary, okay? Put these phrases used for explaining procedures in the right category. 3 categories. Referring to a necessary measure, making a recommendation, giving an explanation. Okay, those are our 3 categories. Andrew, you're going to take number 1. You can write your answer in the chat window. Daniel 2, Defer 3, Paulo 4, Quentin 5, Shadow 6. Don't forget, Andrew, just write the answer like 1 plus the letter. Okay, Andrew says A. You must set up regular meetings would be A, referring to a necessary measure. So, you must is the same as you need to, a necessary thing. Okay? Shadow, you were at what, number 6? Is that right?
Yes?
So, you're saying 6 is A, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's essential to tell them about our advantages. It's the same as referring to a necessary measure. Okay. Let's go back to Daniel for 2.
Yes. Sorry?
Number 2.
It's a good idea to plan this for once a quarter. I think it's making a recommendation.
Right. It's a good idea to is making a recommendation. Very good.
Mhm.
Defer, are you there? Defer? Why have you gone away, Defer? It's so sad and lonely here without you. Okay. Paulo? What about number 4? I think you were doing 4, right?
For referring to a necessary measure.
4, referring to a necessary measure. Read 4 for us, Paulo.
What's useful is to send it to them on a CD. Maybe it can be a making recommendation too.
I think so, yeah. B. What's useful is making a recommendation. Quentin, read yours, number 5, please.
What happens is an offer is made according to it's giving an explanation.
It's giving an explanation. What happens is you're about to give the explanation with that key phrase. Okay? And Shadow, do you think you could do number 3 for us because Defer has disappeared?
Yeah.
Try it.
You need to make sure they have seen the demo. It's A.
I agree. A. Referring to a necessary measure. So pay attention to those key phrases. You must, it's a good idea, you need to. It's useful to. What happens is, it's essential to. Those are the key phrases that I want to hear you use as we actually put this into practice. Okay. Explain the procedure for teleconferencing calls. Make sure you state what's necessary and what's recommended. I've got the procedures for you. All you have to do is return to the key phrases to explain it back to the class. In your explanation, you have to refer to a necessary measure, make a recommendation, and give an explanation. So take a minute, look over the procedures, read through them, let me know if everything is clear, and then maybe I can have 1 or 2 of you actually try to explain it back to the class. Okay? So take a minute, read through it, and tell me if everything is clear. Okay, did everyone have a chance to read?
I still read.
Okay, when you're ready, let me know. Okay, we ready?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. What is KISS? This procedure, Paolo. What is KISS? I think you said you were ready first.
Keep it short and simple. The acronym.
Like? Oh, acronym. Yeah, it's
Yes,
an acronym.
acronym.
Very good. That's it. Okay. Um, Shadow, what should we do related to the technician based on this procedure?
What we should do?
Mm-hmm.
There are many things, teacher.
No, just one. Just one. Give me one.
Okay. I like this one is to vary the tone of your voice, to keep people interest and be enthusiastic.
With a technician?
What do you mean with the technician?
Listen up.
The people who help you.
So Daniel,
Can help you.
when we're having a teleconference or setting up a teleconference system, how should we use a technician based on the procedure you read?
Who? It's a recommendation because if you have
What's a recommendation? To do what? Or to have what?
have a technician on hand.
Have a technician on hand. What's another way to say on hand? Give me a...
Available.
Available. So Shadow, having a technician available is a recommendation. A technician.
What's the meaning of technician? Like what, teacher?
Like what, Teacher Daniel? Like what?
A person who helps you if you have an issue in technology.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, thank you, teacher Daniel.
Thank you, Teacher Daniel.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. What you need to do now is decide which of these steps are necessary, which are recommendations, and which are explanations. If you haven't done that, take a quick note. And what we're going to do is try to go from the very beginning to the very end and add back the key phrases based on what you've decided. So decide which are the necessary steps, which are the recommendations, and which are the explanations. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can have different people speak. We've only got kind of 2 minutes to do this, because then I have to start another class. But I think we can get through it. So, who wants to start us off? You do, Shadow? Excellent. Very good. Very good. Excellent, Shadow. Remember, your key expressions are on the page before.
Teacher,
You must.
can you give me the slideshow because I didn't have it.
This slide?
This one, presentation. I just have this Google document. A document. I don't know.
In Google, you in the Google document, you go to page 6
Uh-huh.
and you click on presentation 2 and it will open in a new tab.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Sorry about that. I have to just save this and close it. Sorry, just give me a second. I'll put it back. Okay, there we go. All right. So you have to decide those 3 things as you read. Is it a necessary measure, a recommendation, or an explanation? And according to those, use the right key phrase. Okay? You start us off, Shadow.
Okay. You must. I'm talking to someone, or
Yeah, you're explaining the procedure explaining it to the class, yeah. So?
okay. We must be sure that the room. We must be sure about the room and equipment that are available.
That's fine. You don't have to change must to be. You can just say, you must make sure that the room and equipment are available.
Okay.
In other words, you're referring to a necessary measure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds okay to me. Keep going. Paulo, what would you say next?
Yes, just a minute.
Okay.
Have a technician on hand in case you have technical problems and can't solve them yourself. It's a recommendation.
Recommendation. So use the recommendation key phrase, whichever one you choose.
Making a recommendation.
Okay. So use a key phrase.
Okay.
Add it to that sentence.
Have a technician on hand in case you have technical problems and can't solve them yourself.
But you need to add the key phrase from the page before. You're right, but you got to add a key phrase. The key phrase would be what?
Key phrase?
Yeah.
Making a recommendation.
Yeah, but the key phrase from before, on the page before, were those you must, it's a good idea, you need to, it's useful to, what happens is it's essential to. So you're going to use one of those to introduce your idea. So making a recommendation, which of those is making a recommendation?
You must set up regular meetings.
That's a necessary measure. If you're making a recommendation, you wouldn't use you must.
Okay.
What would you say? Look at the screen. Which of those is making a recommendation?
What happens is...
that's giving an explanation.
An offer is made according to, yes.
The one that you said earlier is making a recommendation. Remember the one you read before?
What's useful?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, useful.
Okay, so try it with that.
What's useful is to... I lost the number.
You're on
Useful to have a technician on hand in case you have technical problems and can't solve them yourself.
Okay. One change I'd make. What's useful is having.
Having, yes. What's useful is having.
A technician on hand. I agree. It sounds okay.
Okay.
Andrew said it's a good idea. That's another way to say it. It's a good idea to have a technician on hand. What's useful is having. Maybe it's a good idea sounds better here because you're introducing a useful idea for the first time. It's not following a sequence. Whereas if I said, what was the one you said? What's useful is, it sounds like you're talking about a series of things, and that's one of them. Whereas if you're introducing it for the first time, you might say, it's a good idea too. It's a small point. It's not a major issue. But anyway, just an idea. Look, let's do this. We're coming to the end of the hour. I think it would be a very good idea for you to practice this on your own. So I'm going to ask you to go back to slide 6 and explain the entire procedure on slide 7 using those keywords. I suggest you write it out. You can send it to me, I'll correct it, or you can just do it verbally in the beginning of the next class. Okay? But practice those two,
Okay.
and I'll try to remember to send it to you as a homework. But if I don't, I will try to. But if I don't for any reason, that's what you have to do. Using slides 6 and 7, explain this procedure for having a telephone conference. Okay? So we're going to stop there. Try that on your own. In the next class, I'll give you some speaking practice with these key expressions. And we'll go on to a practical situation as well, which I don't have in the links yet, but you'll see it tomorrow. We'll be applying this to a teleconferencing of our own, okay? Try it and send it to me if you want me to correct it as a writing, okay? I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 GMT for great short stories and at 10 GMT for this business communications. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Soon.
Have a good day.
Bye for now.